Just recently I got a request to show how to make this cone cage tutorial. Now I've done a cage tutorial before, so it's quite similar. It's really just knowing how to make spirals, but let me show you. So I've got some 0.8 20 gauge wire and my round nose pliers, and I'm making a little tiny link or circle at the very end. And I'll grip that circle in my flat nose pliers and bring the wire around it, curling around to create a tight spiral. So keep the wire and your fingers and the pliers very, very close. That way you only guarantee getting a nice even spiral. And then create the spiral as big as you want the widest part of the cage to be. Now if you're making earrings, you would do two at the same time. So you'd make sure that they were of even diameter, and you'd cut them off at the same length, the extension at the same length. So what you do now is once you've made the spiral, you create another link at the other end, or the extended end, and this time you're going to make an open spiral because you want a flat top. You don't want a normal bead cage, you want it to be a tapered bead cage. So spiral it like an open spiral and then bring the two together when they're the same diameter so that one slots over the other. And you'll find that the central loops are aligned. And then open it up. And then you're going to push out the close spiral and create a tapered cone. So get a tool or anything just to push through from the inside and pull and separate the coils apart. And it's up to you how long you want to make that. It's depending on the gaps you want to create between the coils. So once you've got that little tapered cone to the length you want. If you're doing earrings, I would now work on the second one, obviously, so I'd make sure it was the same length. Now you want to make the wire in between. So you cut a length that's about an inch longer than the actual length of your cone. Now the wire is soft, so I'm using silver plated copper, and I just want to toughen it because I want to make a head pin out of it. So just hold it with your flat nose plier and pull and twist with your chain nose pliers or another pair of flat nose pliers. And this is work hardening the round wire. It just makes it tougher so it won't bend. And now create a little link at one end. So this is, in essence, it's really an eye pin. It's a long eye pin. So make sure that that's nice and strong, and that is going to go through the center of your cone. Now it's up to you what beads you would like to use to put through the cone. So obviously the beads have to fit in the diameter within that cone. So I'm just going to collect a few. I'm just putting on a smallish seed bead for the very base. So that sort of helps as a stopper between the link, the eye pin link at the end, and then there's a bead. And now I push it through, and then I'm going to thread beads within that cone. So you'll obviously have to start with a smallish bead because it's tapered, and then you can increase the size of the beads that you're using as you progress through the cone. So just put whatever beads you can find that will fit and thread. And this is where it can be very creative. You can, every time you make it, you can make them slightly wider or stubbier, or you can make them with different colors. It's such a wonderful design that you can use again and again. So I'm just filling up that space, and once you've filled it to the top, just pull that eye pin down a bit and push the end through the top middle bit of that open spiral so that it's coming through the very, very top. And now just for a sort of finish, I might add one more bead. It just helps stabilize the whole beaded cone, really. I'm going to add one more bead to the very, very top, and then I'm going to make a wrap loop to suspend it from. So usual thing, round nose pliers, bring the wire around the round nose pliers, and then you're going to wrap that extended length just under that loop. And so there it's nice and secure, nice and centralized. If you've got leftover, like me, you can either cut it or you can make a little spiral. I always think if you've got something left, create a spiral because it just adds another detail. And then just curl that up right up to the link, and you can fold it over so that the link is projecting above it. And then it's really up to you to spend a bit of time getting the sort of spaces between those coils that wrap of the cone. Just make sure they're nice and even. So space them out and spend a little bit of time doing that. And you've got this lovely, cone that you can wear. And you can also link it. I'm linking it so that it's hanging down, tapered down, with a point down, but you could also hang it the other way around. So I'm just going to hang a little spiral off it. I'm going to make more of a like a long head pin there, and then I'm going to spiral that close up. This is going to be a little dangle. Wrap that around. This is an oval spiral. Didn't want it to be too round. And then I'm just going to make a nice little point to my oval spiral. So I'm stopping there, placing the tips just past the spiral, making the point and bringing it back around. Now I'm going to cut it off, leaving enough to make a link that will sit central to the top. So I pick up the very end and curl it round my pliers until it curls and sits at the very, very top. I've got a bit of excess, so I'll cut that off. And that really makes a nice little detail that can be suspended from the end of my cone and gives another little embellishment and decoration to the jewellery. And there you have it. So you can make earrings and necklaces, you can put them on key rings. There you can make something for the window, hanging in the window, or a garden decoration, if you scale it up. It's such a different thing to a bead cage, but very, very pretty to make.